Here we go.
Okay. Here we go. Get ready. Get ready to do the newscast. 59:30. We have 30 seconds until the top of the hour. ABC News. So, this is what we do. This is what we do. It's 5 minutes. All you need to know. Everything you need to know in 5 minutes. Here we go. From ABC News, I'm Cheri Preston. What was he trying to hide? That's what prosecutors want to know about the co-pilot who investigators say brought the Germanwings plane down deliberately this week. We do know the co-pilot, Andreas Lubitz, had been a patient at a hospital over the past 2 months, and more clues have turned up after the search of his apartment.
Found evidence that Lubitz hid some kind of illness from his employer. They found evidence, medical records, what they say torn up sick notes from the day of the crash that indicate, quote, he had an existing illness and appropriate medical treatment that he was hiding from his employer.
ABC News Chief Foreign Correspondent Terry Moran in Dusseldorf. Valerie Walker has been a pilot for 30 years and says pilots undergo stress training every year to make sure they're capable of dealing with emergencies in the air.
It's horrific for any airline pilot to think that one of ours could do that to people.
French police say 400 to 600 pieces of remains have been recovered so far from the crash site. Senate Minority Leader Harry Reid announcing today he is not running for re-election. Now the scramble is on to figure out who will fill his seat.
To be competitive. In presidential years, Nevada has looked more Democratic, and of course 2016 is a presidential year, so depending on who the candidates are, of course, it's going to be a competitive seat and a must-hold for Democrats if they're going to have any chance of picking up the seats they need to retake the Senate.
ABC News political director Rick Klein. Still 2 missing from the New York City fire and explosion. ABC's Ron Claiborne is on the scene.
Still at this point, no official cause for this explosion and fire. But fire officials and city officials are saying the suspicion right now is that there was a problem with the gas lines. In fact, utility workers had been on the site just an hour before that explosion inspecting.
The explosion left 25 hurt, 4 of them still in critical condition. The Dow is up 7 points, NASDAQ up 13. You're listening to ABC News.
Neighbor Pat Boone here. CNBC reports 30 to 60% of America are hiding cash and coins.
Now we're going to check our spots, make sure they're good for the second half of the newscast.
Leaders constantly tout the robust Texas economy as the reason.
Yes, Jim Ryan coming up.
That's right.
And
Lawyer for Knox's ex-boyfriend,
Amanda Knox. That will be a piece from Megan Williams. That will be in the second half of the newscast.
Limit access to our own money.
Still do it on paper, so we can write changes if need be. We could do it on the computer, but we'd rather write things that way. So, waiting for part 2
as a bonus, they'll
of the commercials. That's how we get paid. We like the commercials.
Today by calling 800-289-2646.
Here we go.
800-28.
The southern migration continues. The Census Bureau's latest population estimates now show some of the strongest growth in the Houston and Dallas areas of Texas, but not everybody's such a fan.
Local leaders constantly tout the robust Texas economy as the reason that hundreds of thousands of people are moving here every year. But it does come with a price, an added burden on the infrastructures of healthcare and education, and the traffic. Getting from one place to another seems more difficult every year.
ABC's Jim Ryan in Dallas. We should know later today whether an Italian court will uphold a guilty verdict against Amanda Knox. In Italy, here's ABC's Megan Williams.
boyfriend Raffaele Sollecito told Italy's High Court that Knox was coerced into making false statements about the murder of roommate Meredith Kircher. She added that even if the judges choose to consider her police statement, Raffaele Sollecito figures nowhere in her story. Judges are now deciding on whether to uphold the 28-year sentence against Knox and 25 against Sollecito, order another appeals trial, or acquit the pair. A verdict could come anytime soon. Megan Williams, ABC News, Rome.
The Clintons are headed back to the White House this spring, on stage, that is. Clinton, The musical makes its off-Broadway debut in April. There will be plenty of sax playing, boxer shorts, and discussion of what led to the impeachment, the creators say. This is ABC News.
This is Tax Tips, brought to you by LifeLock.
We have one more commercial.
Like protecting your identity.
At this point, we get all our things ready to go.
LifeLock.com for 10% off your LifeLock Ultimate
There.
Plus membership.
All you need to know in 5 minutes.
The most overlooked tax deductions? How about forgetting to report state taxes that you paid?
Serenade.
That's deductible on your
That's the
federal
last
return.
second,
Giving
so
to
that's coming
registered
up.
charities make the list too, but document your donations. Loan interest on student debt, also big.
I'm Cheri Preston, ABC News. And that is how you do it.